if this is your first meeting with Shackley, or your first nutrition meeting with Dr. Nasser. Whatever it is, we welcome all of you here tonight. I've been in Shackley a long time, and I always think of when I was first introduced to Shackley and how I couldn't believe my ears when I heard what the opportunity was all about. But tonight I've asked a special friend of mine, Senior Coordinator Barb Hasselman, to come up and tell us a little bit about why she's in Shackley, how long she's been in Shackley. She wants to tell us that. And so give her your utmost of attention and applause. Welcome, Barb Hasselman.
Thanks, Doris. Yes, Doris asked me to take 10 minutes, okay? I'll watch myself very carefully. No more. Or more. To talk a little bit about Shackley as an earning opportunity, but I want to begin with our story. Our story goes back to 1979 when one evening we found ourselves sitting at the kitchen table with Lorraine and Carl Ulrich, hearing about what they were doing with Shackley. We had agreed to this appointment out of respect for Lorraine and Carl, certainly not because we wanted to sell anything. But money was tight for us. We were a one-income family for the past 5 years, and I had quit teaching when our son Scott was born. Then something else had happened. Do you remember the blizzard of '79? Some people maybe were too young to remember it. Well, we do also because the roof had collapsed on the building where my husband and his father had their mushroom growing business, and we lost the entire crop plus several months to repair. So our income was in jeopardy for several months during the repairs. Well, I was surprised that night when they showed us Gary Burke's recap. They explained that the real income potential was at the back of the plan in teaching and training. I suddenly saw this as something that I could do for a few years until I went back to teaching. Well, as you can guess, I never went back to teaching, and that's why I'm here this evening. I discovered a company and uplines that would allow me, a non-business type, I'd never sold anything or been involved in any type of business, a stay-at-home mom, to earn an income by helping people to a better lifestyle. I watched people's health improve, and I saw people rekindle dreams through the earning opportunity. And I was able to do all of this part-time from my home. So that was in '79 when we started, and over the years, our income has helped pay for our son Scott's college education, a couple great trips to China and the Holy Land, and a move to a new house on a lake. Then 12 years ago, when I had to take time off from my Shackley business because of a bout with cancer, I discovered that this business pays you for your past work and when you're not working. My monthly income never went down during the months that I was not working. Now we find ourselves, somehow this happens, at retirement age. It's such security to know that we can continue to grow our income. After all, if we stay in good health from all the supplements and our good, healthy lifestyle, we'll need an income for a long time. And what could be more fun than to have meaningful work to do as a senior citizen, like Doris hosting a meeting tonight? Neat things that we get to do as senior citizens in this business and growing our businesses. And what fun to do that, and also to be able to team with our visionary leader, Roger Barnett. So it's been a great opportunity for us. And today in our very bad economy, there are a lot of people who are looking for a plan B, and some people are looking for a plan A. We're very thankful that we found our plan B that has created a substantial income over the last 30 years for us. But let me just tell you, if you are not familiar with where Shackley is today as a company, who we are and what we're doing, and maybe this is a plan B for you. Well, actually, we have been around for over 53 years. Dr. Shackley was the founder of our company in 1956. As it says there, over 500 million products have been sold, and over $4 billion in bonuses paid out. I don't think any month Shaklee has missed in paying out bonuses. We're the #1 natural nutrition company in the U.S. We had the first biodegradable non-toxic cleaner, Basic H. And we were certified just a few years ago, climate neutral. That means we were the first company in the world to be climate neutral certified to fully offset its CO2 emissions, resulting in a net zero impact on the environment. That's our home office in San Francisco. You might be familiar that just a few days ago on Earth Day, there was a special ceremony at the Shaklee headquarters. We had had the Million Trees campaign where we wanted to plant 1 million trees, and the millionth tree was planted that day on the grounds of the headquarters with Roger Barnett and Montgomery Mathai, the Nobel Peace Prize winner from '04, and the governor of California, Arnold Schwarzenegger. So that was really neat. You may have watched the ceremony or got to look at it after, because it's been on the internet. Well, part of the excitement today is that 5 years ago, Shaklee was purchased by Roger Barnett. He comes from a very entrepreneurial family with holdings in excess of $2 billion. He has a strong business background. He's a smart man, let's put it that way, very entrepreneurial. And he invested $20 million researching the industry before buying Shaklee in 2004. Lots of things have happened since then. We have some great exclusive products. The packaging is fantastic, isn't it? Think about our packaging that we've had and all the new products that have come out. He has given us a wonderful training program, opportunities to sponsor internationally, new earning potential, and we can just thank him for making our lives a lot more exciting, and he is a great visionary. So here we are, and a company in the middle of the recession that had 9 quarters of growth. Now, why could that be in the middle of a recession? Well, take a look at all the markets that we are in. Shaklee is at the center of 5 of the fastest growing consumer markets, projected to grow by nearly $1 trillion over the next 10 years. Think about all those markets. The green market, the anti-aging, the health and wellness, the nutrition and beauty, and then the home-based business. More and more people want to work from their home. So what are the benefits to you? Unlimited income potential, time freedom, you can work when you want, travel opportunities. Right now, you get started, you could be on the incentive trip in 2010. It's possible. We were on the trip last October in Hawaii. There were people who had only been in the business about 14 months, and here they were, they had earned that trip. You could do that too. Independence, leverage, time to make a difference. Typically, when you purchase a product, you go to a store and you pay for it from a retailer. There it shows you as a customer of a retailer. And what has happened is there's been all sorts of expenses along the way to get that product to the store. One of the biggest being advertising, right? The budgets are huge for advertising. Well, Shaklee pioneered social marketing, and it's a business model that means you do the advertising for Shaklee. And because you do the advertising in all of your social networks, then Shaklee sends the profits to you. They pay you for the advertising. So, social marketing is a business model that leverages your social networks to make everyone's life better and rewards you for doing so. And we have total corporate and personal support. In the old days, as many of you remember, we had to do some of the things that we don't have to do anymore. Today, you don't have to carry inventory or make deliveries or collections or have any customer risk. There's no employers, and no experience needed. This is an opportunity open to everyone. So what kind of incomes can be made? Because we're independent contractors, at the end of the year, Shackley sends us a 1099 showing our earnings for the year. And this is off of the Shackley computer. This is for 2008. If you haven't seen this, this is on at the Member Center in the Business Library. This is the 2008 annual average income by rank that goes from director at $10,798 to presidential master coordinator at $580,000. And you can choose where you want your earnings to be. There is no ceiling. There's no one going to stop you. If you put forth the efforts, if you choose the level you want to go and you go for it and you work hard, you can have whatever level you see here from your own efforts. And I also think about all of these people along the way in these different ranks, and I would guess that most Shackley people don't work 40 hours their whole career. They may have a spurt where they're trying to achieve a trip or increase their business where they will, but the lifestyle is really nice. And the opportunity on a part-time basis to earn money or to have a lifestyle once you have achieved the higher levels is very exciting. And we know that the higher levels are achieved from teaching and training, leveraging our time and effort with people. So I would just like to thank you for allowing me to share this with you. It's always exciting to me. And I hope that if you are already a part of Shackley, that you will take another look at the earning potential. This is a great time to do it. And if you have not, talk to the person who brought you and work on that Plan B or that Plan A, and it's there for all of us. Thanks.
I'm very proud of Barb. Barb's second level to me. Isn't that nice? Give her another hand. That was just great. I hope some of you heard some new things tonight that you haven't heard before, that you didn't know about. Because as Barb said, this is the time to take a real look at your business. Not only the nutrition part of the business, but how you can help other people with business. We're going to wait a couple seconds. They're setting up a few more chairs. I set up a couple displays in the back of things that are happening out in Shackley right now, if you want to take a look at them. And I know they have nothing to do with Dr. Nasser's lecture tonight, but I like people to know what's going on in Shackley. I've been in Shackley for 37 years, and as Barbara said, I've never worked full-time. It really is nice. I had no idea that the business could be like this for me, and it could be that way for anybody who's willing to talk to other people and share what they have. I'll wait a couple seconds while he sets up the chairs. I hope my recorder's not recording this. Him and welcome him, and he's going to talk about our circulation and how we can help our circulation with the Shackley products and all the magic that he leaves for us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good evening. Oh, I got lots of friends here tonight. Well, I don't know I'm going to be talking about it yet, but every time I give a lecture, can you hear me? Seems like there's an echo. Is it better now? Yeah. Okay. The lecture tonight is about circulation of the heart. Of course, there's no problem for me to put a lecture like that on because I'm a cardiologist, and this is the field I chose for myself because before I went to medical school, I had finished my PhD in biochemistry of the nutrition, and then after that, during the medical school, I have tried to spread the word about nutrition to the rest of the world. I find it very difficult to do that in United States because back in 1968, if you talk about anything related to nutrition, then there is a problem because you are dealing against the drug companies. You're working against a special interest group, and you're working also against hospitals that they want you to do surgery. I remember one time in hospital that I was asked to do a surgery on somebody's heart. And when I went to see the patient, I don't want to name the hospital, then I find out that the patient had a cold, was not heart. So I refused to do the surgery. I said, that's just a cold. Then I told the doctor, this patient chest pain is just a cold, and we're not going to do it. Then the administrator next day called me and asked me how come I refused to do the surgery. I told him because the patient had a cold. He said, yeah, but we need the money. This is the first time since I finished my cardiology fellowship, which was about like 6 months before that, that I was told what to do, that you have to do something we tell you to do. And I didn't like that because my training was in nutrition, preventive medicine. Then my practice training, I was in the Navy, I was at the VA, so my work was always how to serve the people, not how to serve yourself. Are you following me or no?
Yes.
So when I went to the private practice and find out you get told what to do, then I told them, I think you should find yourself another cardiologist. I was the head of cardiology. Then I resigned that day. And I told him, he said, how can you be so stupid that you make $500,000 a year, 1981, 82, and then you quit. And you're not going to get that money from any place. I said, you know what? You're not going to buy my liberty because I left a country behind, that's Egypt, with a lots of money, with a big family for freedom, and you can't buy it from me to tell me what to do. What happened if that girl is your own daughter, or your own sister, and dies? He said, I don't care. Here is this hospital, you get told what to do. So I did it. So in any way, I continued to lecture about nutrition, and then I have to share with you tonight, because the time element, I didn't know my friends from Missouri that I gotta make it all the way here. They're sitting in the back, right? They just came. I wanted to share with you something about the human body, that circulation is very important to the human body. And the reason I became a cardiologist is because if I have the knowledge of nutrition and tell the people what to eat, what to take, what vitamins to give, if I'm going to give them Shaklee vitamins, if I put them on the Shaklee program, and if I don't have a heart to send the blood all over the body, and there is a blockage, then the person will only get what the blockage allows to go through. Are you following me or no? That is not the first time I spoke about the heart. But this is the first time I'm going to give you statistics on how my practice for the last 38 years something, since I came to this country since 82 and 80 until now, that's about 29 years, how that practice developed using nutrition and medicine together for the benefit of improving circulation. So when we combine the Shaklee products with the medical knowledge of cardiovascular system, then I find out some surprises. I was lucky to be the only cardiologist in the world who uses Shaklee products in nutrition and medical practice in together to see the results, because there is no other cardiologist doing that until now. So from my experience, when I paid attention to circulation, I'm going to talk a little bit more about circulation because this is going to be on a DVD that you can buy later on. And also, I brought with me some DVDs for free. You're going to get it in the back about a new procedure that we're going to talk about in combination with the Shaklee vitamins together. How do they work together? They are in the back. You get that later on. So when I looked at the cause of disease, the causes of disease of the heart disease I'm talking about, I find it, that's when I started to become a cardiologist, it is caused by genetic problem that you may have inherited. Homocysteine. How many people here have not heard about homocysteine in the room? You have not. You have not. Okay. Homocysteine is a toxic amino acid that's found in everyone. And the higher the homocysteine over 4 or 5 reading, the more blockage you have. And it is much more toxic to the circulation than cholesterol, triglyceride combined. It is very, very bad for the circulation because it blocks arteries, causes Alzheimer, causes dementia, causes all kinds of problems. So genetic problem, such as inherited LDL, triglyceride, or homocysteine can cause heart disease. We know that, right? Then I find out, how can we counter this using the Shaklee Vivix product that I finished my PhD on, the ingredient of that product when I was doing my PhD. It was called bioflavonoids. And when I did that, before Vivix was even available, we had Flavomax, we had Keratomax, we had all kinds of things that it can work inside the nucleus to correct DNA mutation. Everybody follow me so far? Okay. When you're ready to go to sleep, let me know, then I'll tell you a couple jokes. The second problem, I find out it causes heart problem and circulation problem are the wrong diet. There could be a problem with protein, could be a problem with carbohydrate, vitamins, fat, water, mineral, and fibers. Then also corrected that. You follow me so far? Third problem I encountered was stress. Then I said, okay, that's easy for me. Because once you make somebody healthy, and once you correct their hormones, their stress system improves. Because hormones, imbalance causes stress. You don't see many teenagers stressed because they have lots of hormones, right? They give us a stress. But they don't have it because their hormones are working well enough. They don't have depression. When the hormones go away, we'll have depression. That's DHEA, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, thyroid, adrenal, insulin, all this we can. So when it came to stress, I'm not a psychiatrist, and I don't believe that much in psychiatry myself. Unfortunately, lots of psychiatrists disagree with me, but I do believe stress is from within. When the person is not healthy, they get stressed easy. When the person is healthy, they tolerate stress. You follow me or not? This is something you have to understand. It's easy just to blame somebody else for your problem. But if you take care of your own self as number one, and everybody else as number two, you help your heart. You help your circulation. If you consider everybody else as number one, and you are number two, then you're not good for number one, then you have stress. Stress can cause problem with heart disease. Because the lecture is very scientific, I'm putting background for you so you can follow me later on, okay? And we don't have time limit. We're going to be talking until tomorrow morning. The last thing I found out is toxicity. Toxicity that the people also have been exposed to air pollution, water pollution, and food pollution. And isn't it amazing? Somebody comes all the way from Egypt, discover the cause of heart disease, who's not even a cardiologist yet. And we have all these Nobel Prize winners, they didn't do it. Why do you think they didn't do it? Why do you think nobody in the medical community says, we can counter genetic problem with nutrition? I knew that in 1963 when I was doing my PhD. My professor, Mohammed Darwish from Cairo University, came and said, come here, young man. I said, what? He said, well, you've been selected to do your PhD on bioflavonoids. I said, why? He said, because I said so. I am the dean, I'm the head of the pharmacology department, and I know one day the world will discover that this substance is important. When you're talking to a person who graduated 200 PhDs under him, you don't argue with. So this is a professor who was in Harvard, he was in Cambridge, he was in Cairo, and then here sitting at a desk no bigger than 1/3 of this table in a small, tiny room. And I said, oh my gosh, this guy graduated 200 professors and he doesn't even have a good desk. And then when I entered his research unit, I was so excited that I'm doing a PhD. I'm excited I got a job in science. I was excited to work with scientists, but when I entered, I didn't know how simple these people are. They walk around them, they would do research on plants and vegetables and flowers and this and this and that, everyone doing his PhD, and they are so simple and serious, not arrogant. You enter to the guy who is a professor of professors, and he's so simple, and he takes you like his own son. And he said, everybody in the world one day will discover the role of antioxidant and the role of bioflavonoid, and you here for the next 5 years to do that. You are here to work on it for 5 years or 4 years, depending how fast you are, and you will go to the library, and I see you in 2 years. And you go to the library, spend 2 years in the library, researching bioflavonoids in every language in the world. And you have a team of translators for you. Whatever language, they translate it for you. This is what research does. When I came here, I fortunately found something very stressful. There is no emphasis on nutrition in the country, in the USA. And there's no emphasis on toxicity. And there is no emphasis on stress. And there is no emphasis on family. And there is no emphasis on God. And there is no emphasis on society as a whole to work together, love each other. There was always this friction between nationalities and colors and races and all of that, which I'm not used to in Egypt because we've been around before you were born. We were around for 12,000 years, and we learned how to get along for 12,000 years, since Adam until now. How do you get along? You love each other. You get along with each other. So another thing I noticed is when you try to tell the truth about the genetic, you get harassed. Those days you will get harassed. If you get nutrition, you get harassed, and stress and all of that. So I have also found another problem. There is tremendous amount of ignorance. I want to bring that back here because I forgot something. I found a tremendous amount of ignorance about how nutrition works. You only see what you know. And if you don't know, you don't see. Are you following me about this saying? If you're not expert on something, you don't see it. You can talk all you want, but I'm not a plumber. I don't know how to fix it. I have to call a plumber. I have to call an electrician. And the plumber, and the doctor, and the electrician, and the policeman, and the fireman, we all equal servicing humanity. And nobody is better than anybody, including the farmers. You follow me or not? So I find out lots of people become an expert on nutrition. And I said, this is strange. I'm not even expert in nutrition when I came to the United States. I had just a PhD, but I'm not a medical doctor. I don't even know what to give for diabetes, for heart disease, for circulation. Then I need to go to school. Now, after I went to school, medical school, I said, I learned now. Now I know why. And then after I went to cardiology, now I know more. So I figured the best way is to teach you something about it is tonight, that the people who followed this program right here, when I started practice, 81, I told them, if you follow the Shaklee program and take care of your hormones, we detoxify your body, remove all the chemicals that you have in your system using chelation or methylation, we'll see how long you're going to live. But I do believe we can extend the quality of your life by about 30 years, if we do that. But I told my patient, I'm guessing about it. I met Dr. Shaklee, 1969, and then I told him about the same thing. I think if we apply this good nutrition, and if I go to medical school, and if I become a cardiologist, then I think this with good circulation is going to benefit the people. That's before I became a doctor. You follow me? So I find out that the people who are my patient for the last 30 years, they live in to be close to 90 with good quality life without being in nursing homes. I have 0 patients in nursing homes. And we have very low incident of anybody dying from heart disease if they listen to this formula from the beginning. I do have patients died from heart disease and develop dementia, strokes, when they do not listen. When, for example, the young lady way in the back right there, and Doris Johnson, you met her. You remember Doris? She was here a few minutes ago. The first time I saw her, Doris, right? And then I told her, your heart has a problem, right? We're going to take care of that using this much vitamin E, this, and this, and this, and this, and this. But I didn't jump for surgery. I didn't jump for cardiac cath, for angiogram. I did everything non-invasive on her, just from outside. If you have good knowledge, you don't need many machines to tell you what's a problem. When I was in the Navy, for example, I was in a program in the 6th floor in Great Lakes Navy Hospital that I select the people who are going to go to NASA, or they're going to fly the B-1 bombers, and I put them on a program to select which one is going to qualify, because I told them I don't want you to fly over my house when you have that bomb. But later on, 6 months ago, I just find out you can have 7 nuclear missiles fly over your house without knowing, accidentally. You probably heard that, right? You didn't hear that? We're from North Dakota to the south, 7 nuclear missiles accidentally loaded, and the pilot did not know he had it. Did you hear it? Who heard it? Raise your hand. Okay, see, these people who listen to the news. Listen to the news about what's going to us here. We are in danger from our own government. They are good people, but they need to be corrected. And whoever does not lead the country correctly, we must replace him. We're not Democrats, we're not Republicans, we are Americans. And that's what I want everybody to feel that way about this country. If we don't protect our air and water and food and nutrition and health, what do we got 30, 40 years from now? These patients, age of 90, I have within Shackley, none of them in nursing home. They enjoy life. They sell in Shackley, and some of them actually, you know Naomi Cranny, right? You know her personally. She was close to 100, over 100? 104. Okay, and I stayed in her house many times. Long time ago with when they started with Dr. Shackley. So this is one statistic. But the other statistic I want to show you is this statistic right here that we discovered a new system that if we combine nutrition, Shackley program, with a stress management, which exercise program, and methylation, which removing the homocysteine that you were asking about from the body, dissolving it. If we do that, we're going to improve people quality up to 90. You follow that? So I said that earlier. Then about 4 months ago, I found out a machine that invented in the United States called ECP. I forgot to turn on my phone. I'm glad your phone is not mine. So I'll turn it on. So this, when we apply the ECP machine, which I'm going to explain later, and also there's a DDP about it, we can rebuild the circulation inside the heart. Rather than having one artery, you will have 11 arteries. And the same thing with the brain, and same thing with that. And I left you information in the front to read about that. With this, after I studied it and I found out it's approved for Medicare patients, it's a 35 treatments, and we do not charge Medicare patients anything for the treatment, because I see lots of people here have my treatment, so I know it does work, it does help. And then I even asked one of them I'm going to ask him to stand up and tell him about it today, but I changed my mind. And you're lucky, Ken.
I'll stand up.
Okay, go ahead, tell us about it.
How much time do I have to talk?
1 minute.
Oh, I've taken all 35 treatments, and they're great. I feel that my attitude has changed. I am very, very more positive than ever, and I can certainly recommend it. My minute is up.
Thank you. The thing is about it is there is here testimony by a person had 35 treatment, and a young lady right here who had 35 treatment also, Sherry, right there, and they feel these are people who have advanced blockages in their system, and I know so many here right here, and I know, not for sure, 100%, if we do cardiolite on them again, we will have 9 or 10 new arteries in the heart, and in the brain, and in the lung, and in the liver, and in the muscles, and in the legs, and in many parts we don't want to mention. So this right here, this what we call the ACP, we'll talk about it later on. The people who's going to go on this, which I am glad if they approved it, I'm glad Medicare paying for it. For how long they're going to pay for it, I don't know. Because if Obama goes with his social plan in medicine, probably that therapy will be stopped. Probably if it goes through, nutrition also might be hurt. And that's something we must be careful because we don't take this thing. This is the most wonderful company in the whole world, and it must be protected, not because Roger Bennett owned it, it's because Dr. Shackley made it. And that is why it's special. Because the founder on it is the best man in the world. So people who's going to go on that, I'm calculating they'd be 130 without being in the nursing homes. And anybody who will be in the Shackley Nutrition Program and controlling stress and getting rid of the blockage inside the arteries, inside the luminal artery with methylation, and doing this, they will be the one who's working at that age, and everybody else will be in nursing homes, having Alzheimer, and having somebody else to serve them. Maybe they have to call illegal aliens to come to serve them because I'm not going to serve them. What I'm saying here, your health is the most important thing you got for yourself. Unfortunately, if you don't do that, you will develop a heart attack. You will develop a stroke. You will develop problem with circulation. When I was in the Navy, we found beginning of artery disease at the age of 19. The Vietnam, people got killed, the 50,000 who got killed in Vietnam, 50% of them, 17, had blocked arteries. 50% had beginning of blocked arteries. And I'm going to show you right now today real pictures of the human body at what age this is the blockage start. So this, first of all, there are a few things I have. Let me just, okay, let me just show you this right here. This picture right here, it's about, there's a copy of it in the front you take. It's the research we have done and the circulation in the dogs before and after the treatment, after 35 treatment. Before the treatment, the dog has 5 arteries. After the treatment, the dog has hundreds of arteries. You see the difference right there? The bottom one is about human. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see the bottom one? The bottom one, oh, doesn't look very clear. I have to go walk there and show you. Right here is one artery that has blood clot in it. I don't know if you can see that or not, but the picture is a little bit dark. That man had a heart attack and ready to have open heart surgery. He refused to have the surgery. when he heard about that machine is outside the body, it compresses the circulation. So he did not have the surgery, and he had the 35 treatment like Ken mentioned, and on the end of the 35 treatment, look how many new arteries he had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 to 12 arteries right here. So if that's happening in the heart, imagine what's happening in the rest of the body. This is why we say this is a new miracle that we can enjoy nutrition and science together. I'm going to mention to you, let me see how I'm, oh, here's my notes. Okay. Finally, I find just like, I wanted to mention something before I talk about the heart. In the Chicago Tribune a week ago, did you see that article? And 20 years, that town was drinking carcinogen and was told by the politicians it's from Lake Michigan. And this is a child looking at the well itself when he's driving by. So I made a copy of that without the permission of the Chicago Tribune, and then they can sue me if they want to. So I'm going to pass through lots of pollution and all that stuff. We don't want to talk about that. We've done that in the past. But I want to show you something that the most important thing we have to worry about is our what? Heart and circulation. The heart pumps blood to the brain, the rest of the body. How long are the arteries inside your body? From the moment it leaves the heart until the moment it comes back to the heart. How far? 500,000 miles. 500,000 miles, not 500 miles. Remember, the blood has to go between the cells, capillaries. The blood does just go and come back. It has to go between the cells, and this is why it's so long. And that pump, to pump the blood and get it back in 20 minutes, what should be made of? What kind of a pump we should have to pump blood for 500,000 miles? It has to be perfectly made, right? That's a heart. Are you with me or no? Okay, now, what kind of arteries you will have, you need, if you design that pump yourself, what should you have, the artery should be? Very smooth. No friction. You follow me or not? No blockage. If that arteries have blockage, you're not going to get the nutrition across. So if we have to look at the heart right here, this is the heart we're looking at. Nobody dies unless the heart stops. So the heart is the most important organ in the body. You follow me or no? We have to take care of it. The heart is a muscle. How many arteries the heart is irrigated by? You see in front of you. How many? 2. One to the right, one to the left. You follow me or no? Which one more important, the right or left? The left. So which one holds your life? One artery. How big is it? Inside that artery is no bigger than the head of the pencil. It's about 1 1/20 of inch across. One single artery. What happens if you have a blood clot right here? What will happen to the heart? Stops, right? So, we must use nutrition to keep the blood flowing smoothly, and that's the benefit of having the vitamin E and the omega-3. They keep the blood that way. Now, I'm going to show you inside, this is a normal heart. In the back of the heart, that was the front of the heart. Let me put it again, maybe you didn't pay attention. This is the front. If you can see right here, the only artery here is going to the front and going to the back right here, and some coming to the sides. When it goes to the back, it meets the other artery that's coming from the other side. So it's coming from the back right here, and then it connects with this one here in 70% of the people, and it doesn't connect in 30% of the people. So 30% of the people are not dominant, means they don't have a backup flow. If they have a heart attack, they drop dead. And 70% have backup flow. If it blocks, you can get blood from the other side. So this heart, it's very powerful inside. Inside it, you will have, what is this right here? The muscle, right? This is the right heart, this is the left heart. Which muscle should be bigger, right or left? The left. Left right here has to pump the blood for how long? 500,000 miles. Through valves. So the heart is an engine, like a car. It has a fuel supply. It has an electric system. It has valves. It has a muscle. It has sac around it to protect it from viruses, like you hear about the virus these days, the swine flu virus, which you probably heard about it. You can just take some Nutrifuran and take some Benadryl at night if you feel like you have a cold or something. Just take some Benadryl at night as an antihistamine so the virus doesn't penetrate your nose. If somebody have a cold, and then take some of your vitamin C extra and zinc and Nutrifuran to increase what? Immune system. This is again another picture of circulation. But the reason I mentioned to you 500,000 miles, look inside the liver right here, how much arteries has to go between the cells. So if the target organ, the liver, if the target organ, which is the liver, or the brain, or the legs, or that is not getting enough blood, then he is not getting enough nutrients. Then the person will have cold hands, cold feet, loss of memory, loss of vision, fatigue, tiredness, you name it, digestive problem, this and this and this. And it's true that people are doing a good job taking vitamins, but you've got to have better circulation. And that's what we're talking about today about that. In the Journal of American College of Cardiology, the American College of Medicine, American Journal of Medicine, there was an article shown right here to show that if you, this is your cell inside the nucleus inside your body, and this is the cell. If you take in antioxidant, you are protecting what? The DNA. And if your DNA damaged, there are number of DNA repair enzymes inside, right here. There are number of DNA repair enzymes that correct the damage inside the DNA to make it normal, and that's what Vivix does. Vivix work in the mitochondria and also in the DNA inside here. So this is published in 1996 already, that there are a number of DNA repair enzymes such as exonucleases, endonucleases, glycolases that can remove the lesions on the DNA, and the repair system is not perfect, but 99% perfect. You follow me that? Which person in this world will give you 99% warranty? Nobody. So how did the cells then become so sick? I'm going to sit in that chair right here and then draw a picture. First, I want you to, this is the heart. We're going to talk about, we're going to cut it across right here. So if we cut it across, what does it look like? It looks like this, and it has two cavities, right? Left and right. Which one is bigger? The left. This muscle made of what? Cells. This heart pumps through an aorta, right? Through artery. That artery also made of cells. The artery that's coming out from the heart, it has cells. It has another layer of cells. And it has another layer of cells. So when the blood goes through, which you don't have any red color here, well, that's okay. We can have green blood. Yeah, green blood going through. I lost my red color. Then it's coming out through here. What type of pressure is inside that artery when it leaves the heart? How far is it going to travel again? 500,000 miles. If you put your hand inside your heart, it will crush it. You follow me? That is how powerful, how wonderful that machine is. It will crush it, and that artery have 3 layers of cells. You got the point, or you didn't get it? One layer lined this way, another layer lined that way, another one lined this way. 3-ply tire. Why? Why? Because the pressure is very high. 120 pounds per square inch, that's a lot of pressure. And it has to go, and you know how wonderful it is? The distance from that heart to my hand right here, let's say it's about 5 feet, I still can feel my pulse right here. And that's from the heart. If I even go to my foot, I still can feel the pulse. That's a powerful machine. So these cells right here of the artery and the cell of the heart has to be specially made. Let me show you what is going wrong with you now, and me too. The cell itself has to get nutrients from outside. So it has to get the proper protein, which is chocolate soy protein. Is probably the best you can take. And do not believe any publications attacking soy protein these days because it's false, it's not true. We have 3,000 3,000 million people living in the Indo-China area, India and Pakistan and China and Japan or Korea, they take soybean all the time and they don't have cancer of the breast. And the rumors here, the soy protein is gonna cause cancer, and that's not true. Protein, carbohydrate, you get in your good sugar, the fat, you get in your olive oil, vitamins, you get in the vitamin A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever names are. You get in water, it gets in oxygen, it gets in minerals. I want to ask you a question, simple question. This person in front of us had perfect circulation. So he ate all these vitamins, and does this vitamin go inside the cell easy, or it has to be controlled? It goes under control. The human cell will not allow a nutrient to come in unless it wants it, by order. The DNA inside right here, they have a specific order, which nutrients enter and how much and when. Here is the big issue. Who takes it inside? Who takes it inside? There's a guy sitting right here with two hands. One hand outside, one hand inside. What's his name? That is vitamin E and omega-3. So let me ask you, if this person is your friend, and he will refuse to take the vitamin, he said, I will take all the supplement for Shakti except the E and omega-3. But I take the alfalfa, I take the protein, I take the B complex. Would he get absorption inside the cell? Yes or no? No. So this means, what is the best thing if you're recommending nutrition to somebody, what would you tell them? Because remember this, the way we're going to change this world, as every one of us